is time for the Brandon Sharples Rant of the Week.
Oh! Oh, man, I'm going to hit you fucking liberals hard this time. Listen to me. These SJWs, these guys are just ridiculous. Social justice warriors. Everybody. This whole movement, this blows my mind. And I want a disclaimer here. I'm not even a Republican. It's just that the liberal movement has been so shitty that it's almost pushing me to be a Republican, which is crazy because I don't even agree with not even half of their views. I think they're psychos too. But the point is, you have these women, they're trying to wear Muslim attire, to support women, when really they're just supporting the suppressive culture on women of the Middle East. It's a completely ironic issue. It's like a communist way of looking at things, similar to Russia and China and North Korea, failing state of Venezuela. You got these SJWs. They're the most intolerant fucking group of people in the country. Freedom is awesome. Doing what you want to do is awesome. Having the rights and moving people in and out of the country you want is awesome. Freedom's okay to them unless you disagree with them. Once you disagree with them, then they raise hell. They mace innocent pregnant women and they cause all these riots and they spray paint swastikas on people's doors to try and make it seem like we have this amazing, crazy, racist country when really they're just baiting people. I see this all the time. They shove these petty ass agendas that affect a fraction of the population, like these transgender equal rights. You know what I mean? They push these that associate with a very small fraction of the population, and they push it as legislation, and they push it on a large mass population. And there's a difference between treating people with respect, which is what I agree with. You should always treat people with respect, and trans people are no different. You need to treat them with respect. They don't need to be shit on, but you don't need to change people's lives to basically make a small fraction group of people feel better and change it in a drastic way. And then call people racist because they don't want people sharing bathrooms with certain people. Like that, what's wrong with their opinion that they don't want their children or themselves to share bathrooms with opposite sex or transgender people? That's their prerogative. That's their their idea of what's right. Why is your idea of right better than the next person's? And the whole idea of democracy is to do everything as a one country as a whole. What would be best for the society in a large percentage, not these small percentage bullshit ideas. And they completely ignore the mental illness that's associated with the transgender folks. That a lot of them have a lot of suicidal ideation. They have other mental illness diseases like bipolar. That's all linked to them. So it's like they want us to accept gender as a cultural, issue when it's science. It has a lot of science behind it, and they want to ignore that. They want to kick science to the curb. They're all pro-science until it goes against their argument. Do you see a trend here? Whenever it goes against their argument, they get all ironic about it and they flip-flop. It's fucking insane to me. And they ignore Hillary, their savior, their Lord and fucking savior, an old ass bought and paid for bitch. They ignore her when she's bought and paid for by Saudi Arabia, donating millions of dollars to her, a fucking country that suppresses the shit out of women, stones them. If the women get raped, they're put on trial. Honor killings for gay men, throwing them off fucking buildings. And this woman's accepting donations and nobody gives a shit. But Trump, he wants to deport illegals and build a wall. He's fucking Hitler. He's Hitler 2.0. But it's just, they never make any sense. They want to flood these streets with these refugees with basically no solid plan on how to execute it, how to pay for it. Where are the jobs for these people? Where are the housing going to be for them? And who's paying for it? Who's paying for them? You never know where this money's coming from. Everybody just says, be a good person. Have a heart. Well, it's more than that. It's logistics. It's just common fucking sense. and you guys are being retarded about it. It doesn't make any sense to me or anybody else with half a brain. When they want to overtake Washington. Washington is a cesspool. Washington, there's a child molestation rings going on widespread in D.C. Over 550 kids went missing in D.C. last year. And you got these fucking hipsters. Dude, Pizzagate ain't real, bro. Pizzagate ain't real. Give me a fucking break. Yeah, no, you give me a fucking break. Congress is full of people with sick amounts of power doing sick shit. And this is what happens when you get to the top. They have this like crave for power. So you have all these like weird shit going on. And you got an administration that's in now that's trying to eradicate that movement, that child molestation movement. That's like one of the head things that Trump's trying to do right now, and that doesn't get any news. It doesn't receive anything. Why is that? Because most of these people are liberals, and who controls the media right now? That's for another day on that. But you got this girl that was just gang raped by two illegals who were 17 and 18-year-old fucking freshmen. And do you see any mass media about it? Nobody said it on the primetime news, in late night news or morning news. It was just kind of a story that they ran on print. And even the superintendent, who's a fucking major liberal of that school, was victim blaming. A girl that got raped by two people when she was 15 years old in a bathroom that were illegal immigrants that were allowed in this school. Where is the fucking outrage by these women wearing pussy hats marching down the fucking square? Where are these women? You don't want to know why? Because it was a fucking overload for their brains. They're like, oh shit, what do I do? What do I fucking do? Do I have the back of this woman or do I have the back of this Muslim? If I'm going to be considered racist either way. So they just stay fucking silent. So this girl's getting fucking victim shamed because nobody wants to cause a ruckus because they're illegal immigrants is basically what it was. Not Muslim. They're illegals. They're illegals from Honduras. And they weren't, and nobody wants to paint the picture that these illegals. So they kind of keep it on the down low because guess what? It would fuck up their agenda. Their agenda to overload this country from all parts of the world, so they can basically control the masses. That's basically what we got going on here. And this is the kind of world you get when you have a generation growing up on participation awards for getting their fucking asses kicked from on the playground through high school. So you start handing out awards. Oh, it's okay that you were fucking fat and slow when you got last place by about 700 meters. But here's a participation award, and we'll lift you up in the fucking sky and chant your name. And then what happens when they get to the real world and fucking little fat Johnny sucks ass at pretty much everything he does and he gets fucking shit on and fired? He fucking curls up into a goddamn ball. Well, this is real world, motherfuckers. You need to start treating people like the real world. We need to start learning things in school that comes with the real world. Like how to prepare fucking taxes and change your goddamn oil. You need to start hitting the real issues instead of throwing shit down my throat about a fucking tranny or gay rights when they have rights. Gay people have rights. They're awesome people. Everybody I know, I don't know one person, and I know a lot of people that literally just hates gay people. Those days are over. Those days are fucking over. They're widely accepted. It's like, why do white people supposedly need to have white guilt, especially for things that we weren't alive for and no longer practice? It's because it's easier to guilt people into resources rather than earn them themselves. So that's the truth of the matter. It's time people wake the fuck up and start some personal responsibility for their shortcomings. It's your fucking fault. Some of the smartest people I know are black. Some of the most caring people I have ever met are Mexican women I worked with in Arizona. My kids are mixed. It's 2017, people. If you're talented enough and work hard enough, anybody can achieve a certain level of success. Stop blaming society. It's time that these inner cities, the parents start taking responsibility, start teaching their children. It's time for people to wake up and start finding the way to make things correct instead of just talking about it with no palpable solution whatsoever, no palpable change. So I'm getting real sick and tired of getting shit thrown down our throats that we should feel guilty, that we should hand out, that if you're rich, you're a piece of shit. Certain rich people are pieces of shit, but not everybody who's rich is a piece of shit. There's people out there that took control of their lives and made something of themselves, and they shouldn't have to feel like shit for it. You know what I mean? Of course the world's fucked up. But you got to look past your neighbor who you think is a homophobe, and you got to look at the top of the fucking pyramid where the central banks are and all the people that control the wealth, truly control the wealth, not the fucking rich people that were handed the wealth, the people that control everything, the people without names, without a face. That's the only way you'll make a change. That's it. So people need to wake the fuck up, pull your goddamn britches up, and start making some changes. That's my rant for this week.